Morning. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Hello. No, I'm making bagels. Not pizza. This is a pizza oven. North Vancouver. Lonsdale and 17th. We are called Rosemary Rock Salt. There's our bagels. By gay, you mean fabulous, right? Awesome. Fantastic. Happy as can be. Good morning. We are making bagels this morning. And by we, I mean there's 3 other bakers at our other locations that are baking bagels as well. I never see the other bakers. Only when I go to our monthly meetings do I ever see them. Be nice to work with another human being sometimes in the morning. They're Montreal style. I don't know. I don't feel entirely comfortable calling them Montreal style because I mean I'm sure they're quite a bit different than what you find in Montreal. They're still good. Don't get me wrong, but I'd like to call them Vancouver style or something. Cause they're based on Montreal style bagels though. A few differences. We use a gas-fired oven, whereas I think most of the bakeries in Montreal probably use wood-fired. I'm sure there'd be some people that would say that would disqualify these as Montreal style, but I'm no traditionalist. I'm actually rather anti-traditionalist, so I want to stir things up. Disruption. That's what it's all about. like I said in some of my earlier episodes, I've said that I want to do a bagel that represents Vancouver, and I think the bagel that would best represent Vancouver would be a vegan whole wheat bagel. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I'd like to open my own restaurant or bagel bakery, I guess you call it. Do everything that I'm doing here, but do it entirely vegan. And also, I'd like to mill the flour in store each day, so it'd be whole grain, stone ground whole grain wheat. And that would be the bagel that best represents Vancouver. And I would call it a vegan bagel. That is my goal. Currently, it's just an idea. I suppose hasn't progressed to this level of being a goal yet. So I'm just going to adjust this. It's holding a bit. Anybody who's watching, are you watching from the States? Are you Americans? Just interested. I'm wondering if there's any popular bagel chains in the States that you can tell me about. Nice, Cambridge. Are there any good bagel shops in Cambridge? None. I don't think bagels are sort of a North American thing. I've talked to a few people, talking to a person from Brazil, Mexico, England, and they all say that bagels just are hard to come by in those parts of the world. Whereas here in Canada, you go. I think you can get a bagel. You can get a bagel on every corner of this intersection, pretty much. There's a Starbucks there. You get a bagel there. There's a Loblaws across the street, which is the grocery store. You get a bagel there. You might even be able to get a bagel at the Esso over there. Every corner of this intersection, you can buy a bagel at. how you describe Canada. It's all bagel shops and coffee. Coffee and bagel shops. That's all it is. And some beautiful scenery thrown in for good measure. I bet you get some good fish and chips there in Cambridge, though. You get some good fish and chips here in Vancouver too. There's where's a good place to go fish and chips? I can't think of anything here, but on the island there's a place in Parksville that was really good. I went there with my parents. They enjoyed themselves enormously. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I'm making bagels. Bagels. Vancouver style bagels. Sorry. I use the mahogany boards. We use mahogany boards to get the bagels in the oven. If you put a wet bagel on the deck, it just sticks. So we put them on boards to get them in the oven. And you notice that I keep the boards wet, and that prevents the bagels from sticking on the boards. But anyways, so I put the bagels on the board into the oven. I let them dry before I flip them onto the deck. And so that's the main reason we use boards, is so we can get the bagels into the oven without them sticking and whatever. I try to keep them wet so they don't burn, and so the bagels don't stick. Whoa. So these bagels, we boil them first. They're boiled in honey-infused water. Sorry, I missed that comment. Morning. Making bagels. Well, I don't post very often to my Instagram, but thanks for again, being a long time. Yeah, I've been working a bunch at the other locations. I don't know, I don't feel like streaming from those locations. I worked at, oh yeah, thanks. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hacky sack's one of my favorite things to do in the summertime. I'm doing good, yeah. Yeah, was a hot day that day, so I was in the shade, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. I've seen better though. There's hacky sack players that are much better than I am. What to do next? Hello. I'm in my late 30s. Here, need to know. My late 30s. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm a few years older than you, I guess. No. No, I think so. Oh, thank you. I know I usually shave it off about this time because it gets itchy, but I think I might keep it around for a while. It'd be awesome. So where in the States? I didn't see. So I didn't read that whole. I didn't see that whole comment. West Virginia. I'd like to go to the States more often. I work quite a bit though. It's hard to get time off from this job. Oh, I see. Not much into greasy food, ironically. Might make an exception though. I grew up near Calgary, and we used to go to the Calgary Stampede. That got old pretty quick though. I don't think I'd ever go to this Calgary Stampede ever again. Greasy food and a bunch of obnoxious drunks. Something like that thing. Deep fried Oreos. Oh yeah. I think at the Calgary Stampede they had deep fried Mars bars. I'd eat, but I would eat a deep fried Mars bar over a corn dog any day. Corn dogs are disgusting. I'm a vegetarian though, so I mean, hot dogs are disgusting in the first place, so. Wrap it in corn emulsion. Big fan of mini donuts. Oh no, I hate the hot dogs. Hot dogs are disgusting. Oh my God. I don't know, but I'm a vegetarian though, so I mean. Oh my God. Hot dogs are disgusting though, so I don't know. Snowshoes and carnival games. That sounds wonderful. Mini donuts, yes, mini donuts. Mini donuts, mini donuts. I'd like to make mini donuts with coconut flour. I'd call them cocoa nuts. Cocoa nuts. Bedtime bum. Not yet. I really like coconut flour. I think that coconut flour should be more popular. I love coconut flour. Same. Apologize for my tripod, it's broken. It slowly slants downwards. rainy and cold. It's gonna be, it's sort of cloudy and overcast here in Vancouver, but it's been really nice lately. It's a decent summer. I bought new shoes yesterday. Oh, no, day before, I guess. Sorry, didn't see that one. They're fantastic. They feel great. Yes, they are very comfy. I don't know if I can lift my feet up that high. You can see the bottom of them. A friend of mine works at a shoe store and he got me a good deal on them, so I'm pretty happy. They're Innovate. That's the brand, Innovate. Does everybody know? Canadians are polite, but they're likely thinking something nasty in their heads. So. We're polite people, that's all I can say. It's the land of the apologetic, the excessively apologetic. Some days the only word I say is sorry. Yeah, I'm single. Terminally single. Let's see. Terminally. hot in here. I'm not blushing. I'm actually uncomfortably warm right now. Gotta go to work. Have a good day at work. Thanks for watching. I'll be here tomorrow. Making bagels. Sweet. Have a great morning. Hamlin Towns in Brunswick, my famous Hanover city. The river Weser, deep and wide, washes its wall on the southern side. A pleasanter spot you've never spied. But when begins my ditty, almost 500 years ago, to see the townsfolk suffer so from vermin was a pity. Rats, they fought the dogs and killed the cats and bit the babies in the cradles, and ate the cheeses from the vats and licked the soup from the cook's own ladles. Split open the kegs of salted sprats, made nests in the men's Sunday hats, and even spoiled the women's chats by drowning out their shrieking with squeaking and shrieking in 50 different sharps and flats. At last the people in a body to the town hall came flocking. "'Tis clear," cried they, "our mayor is a naughty. The data's for our corporation. Shocking to think we buy gowns lined with ermine. But won't cancer won't determine what's best to rid us of our vermin. You hope because you're old and obese to find the furry civic robe to ease. Rouse up, sirs, give your brains a racking. Find the remedy we are lacking. As sure as fate will send you packing." At this, the mayor's corporation quaked with mighty consternation. An hour they sat in council. At length the mayor broke silence. "Poor a gilder eyed my urban down cell. I wish I were a mile hence. It's easy to bid one rack one's brain. I'm sure my poor head aches again. I scratch it so, but all in vain. Oh, for a trap, a trap, a trap." Just as he said this, what should happen? At the chamber door, but a gentle tap. "Bless us," cried the mayor, "what's that?" With the corporation as he sat, looking little through wondrous fat. Nor brighter were his eyes, nor moister than a too long opened oyster, save when at noon his paunch grew mutinous for a plate of turtle green and glutinous. Only a scraping of shoes on a mat, anything like the sound of a rat makes my heart go pit-a-pat. "Come in," cried the mayor, looking bigger, and in did come the strangest figure. His long queer coat from heel to head was half yellow and half red, and he himself was tall and thin, with sharp blue eyes, each like a pin, and light loose hair and swarthy skin, nor tuft of hair on cheek, nor beard on chin, but lips where smile went out and in. There was no guessing his kith or kin, and nobody could enough admire this tall man in his quaint attire. Quoth one, "It's as my great-grandsire, starting up at the trump of Duke's tone, had walked this way from his painted tombstone." He advanced towards the council table, and "Please, your honor," said he, "I am able, by means of secret charm, to draw all the creatures living beneath the sun. They crawl or swim or fly or run after me so as you never saw. And I chiefly use my charm on creatures that do people harm, the mole and toad and newt and viper. People call me the Pied Piper, and here they notice round his neck a scarf of red and yellow stripe to match with his coat and self-same check. And that Stark's end on the pipe
and his fingers they noticed were ever straying, as if impatient to be playing upon this pipe, as low as dangled over his vesture, so old-fangled. Yes, said he, Pied Piper as I am, in Tartary I bred the camp. Last June, in this huge swarms of gnats, I eased in Asia than I am, of a monstrous brood of vampire rats. And as for what your brain bewildered, if I rid your town of rats, will you give me 1,000 guilders? 50,000 was the exclamation of an astonished mayor and corporation. Into the streets Piper stepped, smiling first a little smile, as if he knew what magic slept in his quiet pipe a while. Like a musical adept, blow his pipe, his lips wrinkled. In green and blue his sharp eyes twinkled, like a candle flame where salt is sprinkled. And ere 3 shrill notes the pipe uttered, you heard as if an army muttered, and muttering grew to a grumbling, and a grumbling grew to a mighty rumbling, and out of the houses came the rats tumbling. Great rats, small rats, lean rats, brawny rats, brown rats, black rats, grey rats, tawny rats, brave old plotters, gay young friskers, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, cocking tails and pricking whiskers, families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, followed the Pied Piper for their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed dancing, until they came to the river Weser, wherein all plunged and perished, save one who stout as Julius Caesar, swam across and lived to carry, as he the manuscript he cherished, to Ratland home his commentary, which was, at first shrill notes of the pipe, I heard a sound as of scraping tripe, and putting apples wondrous ripe into the cider presses gripe, and a moving away of pickle tub boards, and leaving a jar of conserve cupboards, and a drawing the corks of trade oil flasks, and a breaking the hoops of butter casks, and it seemed as if a voice, sweeter far than by harp or by psalteries breathed, called out, oh, rats, rejoice, the world is grown to a vast isolatory, so munch on, crunch on, tinker, nunch on, breakfast, supper, dinner, lunch on, and just a bulky sugar punch on, already staved like a great sun shone, gracious steps an inch before me, just as methought it said, come bore me, I found the rest rolling over me. You should have heard the Hamlin people ring the bells so they rocked the steeple. Go, cried the mayor, get long poles, poke out the nest and walk up the holes, consult with carpenters and builders, and leave in our town not even a trace of the rat. When suddenly up the face of the Piper perked in the marketplace, the first of you please, my 1,000 guilders, 1,000 guilders, the mayor looked pleased, so did the corporation too. For council dinners made rare havoc with claret, moselle, vintage, grog pop, and half the money would replenish their seller's biggest butt of Rhenish. Paid the sum to a wondering fellow, with gypsy coat of red and yellow. Besides, quoth the mayor with a knowing wink, our business was done at the river's brink. We saw with our eyes a vermin sink, and what's dead can come to life, I think. So, friend, we're not folks to shrink from our duty of giving you something to drink, and a matter of money to put in your coat. But as for the guilders, what we spoke of them, as you well know, wasn't a joke. Besides, our losses have made us thrifty. 1,000 guilders, come, take 50. The Piper's face fell and he cried, no trifling, I can't wait to side. I promised to visit by dinner time Baghdad, and accept the crime of the head cook's potage, all he's rich in, for having left in the Caleb's kitchen, of a nest of scorpions no survivor. With him I prove no bargain driver, with you don't think I'll bait a stiver, and folks who won't be in a passion may find me pipe after another fashion. How, cried the mayor, do you think I brook, being worse treated than a cook, insulted by a rival, with idle pipe and vesture piebald? Threaten us, fellow, hear your worst, blow your pipe there till you burst. Once more he stepped into the street, to his lips again laid his long pipe of smooth straight cane, and ere he blew 3 notes, such sweet soft notes as yet musicians cunning never gave the enraptured air. There was a rustling that seemed like the bustling of merry crowds justling, of pitching and hustling, small feet pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping, little tongues chattering, and like foals in a farmyard when barley is scattering, out came the children, all the little boys and girls, with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls, tripping and skipping on merrily after. The wonderful music was shouting and laughter. The mayor was dumb and the council stood as if they were changed into blocks of wood, unable to move a step or cry, to the children merrily skipping by, could only follow with an eye that joyous crowd in the Piper's back, and how the mayor was on the rack, and the wretched council's bosoms beat as the Piper turned from the high street to where the Weser rolled its waters, right in the way of their sons and daughters. Harvard turned from south to west, and to Copperberg Hill his steps addressed, and after him the children pressed. Great was the joy in every breast. He never crossed the mighty top. He's forced to let the piping drop, and we shall see our children stop. When lo, they reached the mountainside, a wondrous portal opened wide, as if a cavern was suddenly hollowed. The piper advanced, and the children followed. And when all were in to the very last, the door in the mountainside shut fast. Did I say all? No, one was lame, and could not dance the whole of the way. And in after years, if you'd blame his sadness, he was used to say, it is dull in our town since my playmates left. I can't forget that I'm bereft of all the pleasant sights they see, which the piper also promised me. Before he left us, he said, to a joyous land, joining the town in just at hand, where waters gushed and fruit trees grew, and flowers before fairer hue, and everything was strange and new. The sparrow was bred in a peacock here, and their dogs outran our fallow deer, and honeybees had lost their stings, and horses were born with eagle's wings, and just as I became assured, my lame foot would be speedily cured, the music stopped and I stood still, and found myself outside the hill, left behind against my will, to go now living as before, and never hear of that country more. Alas, alas for Hamelin, there came into many a burgher's pate a text which says that heaven's gate opens to the rich at as easy rate as the needle's eye takes the camel in. The mare sent east, west, north, and south to offer the piper by word of mouth, wherever it was men's lot to find him, silver and gold to his heart's content, if only he'd return the way he went, and bring the children behind him. But when they saw this lost endeavor, the piper dancers had gone forever. They made a decree that the warriors never should think their records dated if after the day of the month and year, these words do not as well appear. And so long after what happened here on the 22nd of July, 1376, and the better in memory to fix, the place of the children's last retreat, they called it the Piper Street, where anyone playing piper tabor was short for his future lose his labor, nor suffered they hostility or tavern. The shop where the street so solemn, and opposite the place of the cavern, they wrote the story on a column, and on great church window painted, the same to make the world acquainted, how their children were stolen away, and there it stands this very day. And I must not admit to say that in Transylvania there is a tribe of alien people who ascribe the way and dress of which their neighbors lay such stress to their fathers and mothers having risen out of some subterranean prison long time ago in a mighty band, into which they were to pan long time ago in a mighty band, out of Hamlin towns in Brunswick land, but how or why they don't understand. So, Lily, let me and you be wipers of scores out with old men, especially pipers, and if they pipe us free from rats or from mice, if we promise them aught, let us keep our promise. Sorry, that's all there is today for the stream. Apologize for my tripod malfunction, and please join me tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Thanks for watching. Have an excellent morning.